3.1 terabytes of the U.S. insurance industry's most sensitive regulatory data just hit the dark web, stolen without a single employee clicking a phishing link or handing over a password.
Yeah, I mean, this was a completely silent 2-week break-in exploiting an invisible flaw in software that, powers hundreds of the world's largest organizations.
And the extortion group Shiny Hunters, they actually had a 2-week head start. You need to know how they got in and what they took, because the resulting fallout is currently freezing financial markets and exposing hundreds of thousands of individuals.
Right, so for this deep dive, we are looking at CVE 2026-35273. It's a critical 9.8 CVSS zero-day vulnerability in Oracle PeopleSoft's environment management component.
Okay, let's unpack this. And wait, I'm confused. How can a system running Fortune 500 companies just allow arbitrary code?
Well, it's an unauthenticated remote code execution flaw, meaning it requires absolutely zero user interaction. The tool basically just blindly trusts what it thinks are internal network requests.
So this is like a bank vault, where the front door has biometric locks, but the attackers found a secret, unmonitored service elevator leading straight to the safety deposit boxes.
Exactly. They found a path that developers assumed would only ever be used by trusted insiders, so, they rode that elevator incredibly quietly.
Because between May 27 and June 9, 2026, Shiny Hunters roamed completely undetected, right?
Totally undetected. Instead of deploying noisy ransomware that trips security alarms the second it starts encrypting files, they just used customized Mesh Central remote management agents.
Oh, and they disguised those agents as Microsoft Azure services, didn't they? Like Mesh Agent 64 Azure DOPS.exe.
Spot on. They used those to quietly map networks and steal data using a highly efficient compression method, so fast that security monitors never even noticed the traffic spike.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Let's look at the National Association of Insurance Commissioners breach. Over 264,000 regulatory PDFs were stolen.
But, the PDFs aren't actually the most dangerous part of that haul.
Right. The real threat is the stolen AWS cloud infrastructure logs.
Yeah.
I mean, that is literally handing the burglar the architectural blueprints for their next heist.
Yeah, and the immediate operational damage from losing those blueprints is massive. Credit rating agencies essentially pause their data feeds to protect themselves.
Which forced the NAIC to suspend assigning its own investment designations.
Exactly, which throws U.S. insurance capital rules into total limbo. It spotlights this huge fear of ratings inflation where undercapitalized insurers might be holding risk they literally can't cover.
So they use these architectural blueprints to paralyze a centralized hub. But this Oracle software is everywhere, so 68% of targets were actually in higher education. Take the University of Nottingham breach.
Yeah, that one was brutal. Over 40 gigabytes of data stolen there.
Exposing 454,600 student and alumni records. We were talking passports, full names, even disability information.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the new cybercriminal model is acquire, threaten, publish. Zero encryption needed.
So how do you actually defend against this? Just patching Oracle?
No. Patching isn't enough. You must patch immediately, sure, but you also have to disable the EM Hub service entirely and aggressively monitor outbound SMB traffic on TCP port 445.
Because the exploit physically forces the compromised server to hand over Windows credentials. So what does this all mean? If a group can completely paralyze a centralized hub like the NAIC without ever encrypting a single file, or organizations focusing too much of their security budget on stopping ransomware while finally losing the war on pure data extortion.